Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to get a few things done in the front yard. It has been raining so much and everything kind of got a little bit wrecked in the front. So today I want to go out there, get everything tidied up, especially because now we are in the first week of November and we are going to start getting some of our Christmas lights up. So I want to make sure that everything is just tidy and ready to go. Today it's just going to be you and I. We're going to roll up our sleeves and just get after it. There's a lot to get done in the front. I also want to come in and get a couple of annuals planted in some of our containers in the back, so hopefully we'll have time to do that. It is supposed to stay relatively clear, but I do see a little bit of sprinkle coming down, which is fine. It's not that bad, not compared to what it's been the last few days. So let me get some of our equipment that we're going to need today, and then we'll just jump right in. I will probably bring my blower, my small blower out today. Okay, I'm going to get pruners, some rubber gloves, and then I'm also going to grab these guys instead of my loppers today. Kneeling pad. Okay, here's the game plan for today. I want to come in and you can see a lot of things just got knocked over by the rain. So it's time to pull out everything at this point for me. I'm going to come in and cut down all of the dahlias. We'll see if we dig the ones in the front up. I'm not sure quite yet. You can see back here, the bee balm and everything is just kind of done for the season. So I am going to go ahead and take those out as well. We'll also come in here and clear out all of the annuals out here. And if I swing over here, we'll also just remove all of this, cut back down the hostas. You can see how just in the span of a few days, how things quickly turned. All of these guys are also gonna come out. These are the Lisianthus that we planted out here. We'll take those out. I might actually harvest these and let them finish blooming inside. We'll remove all of these annuals as well. Our peonies have also browned up, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those back. You can see our hostas are done, so I will go ahead and cut those all the way back. If we have time, I'd like to plant the sedum up here in the front. We'll bring this tree to the back because it is going to get planted. And then in this bed over here, we also just need to come in and blow things out, get rid of all of these dahlias. They really just, look at this. They really took a beating with the last few days of heavy rains we had. The cosmos are already done. And if we swing right over here, we'll also get these guys cleared out. So we have the mahogany splendor. Those are pretty much done. I will cut them all the way down and actually remove them. Clear out this area too. Look at this delphinium trying to bloom. I'll go ahead and harvest that, but just get everything tidied up in these beds. I'd really like to get all of these things done before our trip that's coming up at the end of the month, just so I'm not rushing when we get back to get things done. We also have a ton of bulbs to get planted, so I would like to do that before we leave on our trip. And so if I can get things tidied up, I can plant the bulbs, and then we will come in with a little bit of mulch and just mulch things up so it's very nice and tidy for winter. All right, you know the drill. Let's just get into it. All right, we got bed number 1 roughly cleaned up. So I always do a rough clean and then we'll come in and edit. And now let's move on to bed number 2. Well, how about that for a good cleanup video? We didn't get to everything, but we did get quite a bit done. So let me show you how everything is looking right now. Starting out in the front, we got our first bed cleaned up. I did leave in all of the dahlias. I'll probably leave them in just for a few days like this, and then we will come in and dig these up. Now remember, these are all cafe au laits, and the reason why I'm digging them up is because we are going to just retool this bed a bit next year. So I will dig them all up and divide them. This peony still looks okay. It's not all the way brown yet, so I will go ahead and just leave it in for a few more days and see if it just colors up a little bit more, and then I'll go ahead and cut it back. But you can see how empty everything is and the power of annuals and what a huge difference they make in our garden. I still want to come in and plant something in this area. Remember, this is where we had the Ruby Falls maple. So we still have an area to plant over here, maybe a small tree, maybe a shrub. I'm open to any recommendations, but this area will just look very different next year. And then over here in the side garden on this side of the house, how satisfying does this look? I just love picking up everything and getting everything out of the way. Here's that bowl that we've talked about before, and I had some recommendations from you guys, but I wanted to show you, look at how much water it retains. So it just doesn't have good drainage. That's why I'm inclined to just getting rid of it altogether, which means another opportunity to come in with some beautiful shrubs and just, it feels good to get this area tidied up. Our Chinese dogwood still has quite a bit of leaves, which looks actually really beautiful with the yellowing going on right now, almost like an ombre effect. Now Sergey will come in and cut the grass, so I left some things on the grass for him to just mulch. I'm not too worried about that. You can see our Shishigashira maple here is finally putting on just the slightest bit of color. But typically, I would like to see it all yellow. Sometimes it does it. One year it didn't, it was beautiful. This year it's taking quite a bit of time, but I would love for it to just put on a little bit more yellow color before it drops its leaves. But this area does look very neat, and I'm excited to just get some other things planted in here. This is where I was thinking of putting the sedums right around this rock. So maybe having like 1, 2, 3 over here. And then of course we'll have to come in and get some more sedums to plant in the other 2 areas. But let me know if you think this would be a cute area. I think it will. And I love sedum, so I want to add more into our garden. I think this will be a good space for them. In our second bed, we also got all cleaned up. You can see what a huge impact those hostas make in this area. It just, look at how empty everything looks. There are a couple of hostas that still look really good, so I'm going to leave those until they yellow up and are done for the season. We do have a couple of dahlias in here that I will also dig up. And then our scented geraniums, as I was working over here, one, they just had the most beautiful scent. So I'm just going to leave them in. And what I would like to do is overwinter them. And I've never done that before, but if you have, let me know down in the comments. Can I go ahead and just dig it up and pot it up? And I don't know, do I bring it in? What do I do? I have to do a little bit of research, but I would love to keep these and plant them back out next year. And if we swing right around here, you can see I left our Rudbeckias in. Those will stay in until they really start browning up. And then the birds will get to the seed heads throughout the season, but I will leave those up for a little bit longer. I may move them. So that's the only reason why I would cut them down, is if I end up moving them. But I'm still trying to sketch out how this area is going to look next year. And then over here, we left this dahlia because I'm going to see if it will bloom for me in the next few days. And if it does, I'll harvest and just cut it back down. The hydrangeas we left as they are, just to have a little bit of color in this space. But just look at how different everything looks without all of the annuals. Isn't that wild? And now you can get an idea of how this area in the back looks. You see, we still have a little bit of room for maybe one tree over here that I've talked about before. So I feel like we do have the space. Of course, I would still like to come in with other shrubs, just really make this feel a little bit more cohesive than it has been the last couple of years, especially because we've been growing so many cut flowers to fill in this blank space. I would like to come in with more anchor pieces and then have room for annual bedding or bedding annuals, and that kind of be the theme for both beds and our island as well. And you know what? I love days like this when you can just come out and just work, and you feel good about it. Do you know what I mean? I like to do smaller projects, yes, but when you can come out and just disconnect from everything else and just get down and get dirty and roll up your sleeves and just get it done, I love that feeling. And it's almost like a sleigh, one of those sleigh dogs, you know, you just go. That might be a terrible analogy, but you know what I mean. I just love to do this type of work because it feels so satisfying and gratifying. And I feel like I got a lot done today. So I am so happy about that. There won't be much cleanup to do after this. Of course, we will come in and just remove some things that start looking bad throughout winter time and then picking up the leaves of our maples as they start to drop. But other than that, after we get in our bulbs and then do a light layer of mulch, you'll pretty much be done for the season. And of course, I would like to come in and plant maybe a couple of perennials. We didn't get to all of the planting I wanted to get done, but that's okay, because at least we got everything looking tidy and clean and ready for the bulbs. All right, guys, well, that will do it for today's project. I hope you guys enjoyed this cleanup video and just getting things tidied up. I'm excited to come in now with our bulbs and then do a thin layer of mulch and just call it good for the season, with the exception of just pulling out some of the dahlias that we have left. So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my garden, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.